Hello, everybody. How are you today? I am Elizabeth Edgel. I am the admin of Delaware County Community Awareness on Facebook. We're on a few other platforms as well. Um, and this is my co host, Mr. Rick Yenser. He is a newsman and author of a book called Muncie and 150. And he was a newsman for the Star Press for about 30 some years. Is that right? 35, 30,
Yeah, I've been
40,
around. I
somewhere
was
around
around
there.
in the blizzard, and I'm
yeah.
around today.
Well, if you didn't notice, you might have. We changed the name of the podcast. We had to. When we took our small little break, there was another podcast, and it does haunted things, and they called it The Whistler. And it's getting some in its area. It's getting very well known.
Really?
And so when you go to see it before, when you put in The Whistler, it was just us. Well, when I went to check it again, because I'm very thorough. Now it may take me a while
You're
to
the
get there.
producer.
It was coming up before us. So we don't want that for them or us. So we went ahead and we changed it. Now, the Quill and a Quiver has some historical aspects to it. Let me lay this out for you. So, welcome, thinkers and rebels, to the first flight of the Quill and the Quiver. The Quill writes the words that shapes nations, and the Quiver carries arrows of ideas that pierce through tyranny. Today, we draw from the mind of John Locke. Now, John Locke was a famous philosopher before the American Revolution.
Right, he's a physician
yes,
too.
He dared to say that kings are not divine, that power is not eternal, that freedom is the birthright of every soul, the father of life, liberty, and property. The rulers break the social contracts. That's what he always said, social contracts. And rebellion is not chaos then, it's justice. And so his ink became the spark that lit the American Revolution. So we want you to join us because we are going to be doing a lot of that. That's what we do pretty much. Our words, our podcast, they light it up. And what we're lighting up is truth. It's the light of awareness. You can't change what you don't acknowledge, right?
Well, and we're about the only news around anymore because the paper, the radio, even Ball State. We live in a news desert, but
yeah,
I'm out here in person. Liz, you're always online.
I am. I have a big story that's coming out, and
you do.
I
What's
do.
That?
It'll be out for our next week's podcast, and it'll probably be. I'll probably do a video that just self-contains it.
You gonna make it before Monday's council meeting, or?
I will probably make most of it before Monday's council meeting, and then I will incorporate the rest of the Muncie. We'll do this podcast next Wednesday again.
Cool.
And that way it gives me a day to incorporate the city council meeting in it, because I may go to jail. I don't know.
No, nobody's going to put you away.
I don't care if they do.
Okay.
If they do, I'm going to sue the pants off of them because they can't. I won't be a problem. I won't be causing a ruckus. And if they put me in jail because of it,
they know better.
Do they?
Speech.
If they did, then Green wouldn't have given that speech. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, speech is supported by the Constitution. It's okay.
It is. Well, there's certain laws that they can do. They can tell you where you can do it, how long you can do it, and to a degree, the parameters in which you do it in. Like you have to sign up, you have to do this, you know, but they cannot tell you the content of your speech.
It still says in the Constitution that we have the right to redress government, and no state or local law can overrule the United States Constitution.
I keep the Constitution with me every time I'm doing any business.
I forgot.
Then I also have the rules of civility.
Civility. Oh,
and a new book that I found the other day.
Now what'd you find? You got books.
Yes, it's I Dare You.
Oh, I Dare You.
And it's an old book. It was written a long time ago, but you're supposed to read this book and then give it to a young person for their graduation.
Oh, I would hope that.
Yeah, because it says things like,
and write.
Are you one of the priceless few? I dare you to adventure. I dare you to do things. I dare you to start. You know, and it's the concept of some people don't get anything done unless somebody dares them.
Exactly.
You know, it's just about motivation.
It's not about talking, it's about doing.
Right, it is. And it is a time of doing. So we're going to start after we explained John Locke. Now, he was a good personal friend of Thomas Jefferson. I actually thought he was the one that gave our quote at the beginning, because I just always thought it was him, but it wasn't. I was surprised
if you
to
look
find
at
that
the
out.
timeline,
Yeah,
Locke
he was a little older than them.
Yeah, he's a couple generations
But he
before.
definitely helped shape the minds of those people.
But he was English too. He wasn't French or Spanish or German or.
And he was educated academic.
And he was Oxford. Yeah, he's Oxford.
So that's what you can do. A person, you're planting seeds right now, and it may look like no one's listening to you. And I know I'm guilty of this too. I say it all the time. I'm getting nowhere. I'm not helping anybody. I'm not changing anything, but I am. You know, if people think differently, if people talk about things differently, if people are talking about it. When I first came to a city council meeting in 2019, there was hardly anybody there.
Right.
Now they're packed. And that I love to see that. That's your citizens engaging. So you better be cautious.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start with the obvious, the snow.
The snow.
The snow.
It's
my
snow blizzard.
goodness. It was a terrible snow blizzard, was it not?
No. Oh, that's just.
I mean, there you are.
That was a parking lot.
Yeah, but you look like you're the king of the world right there.
No, that was a parking lot at a box. I got old pictures of this blizzard of 1978 where everything shut down. We left me and Sue left the paper, and an hour later, the High Street Church blew up. A gas line. Yeah, a gas line. This was 1978.
And the maintenance man had just left.
And, we had kids that watched it. They smelled gas. They called before help arrived. It blew up.
Thankfully, there's nobody in the church, which almost is amazing. I'm a member of that church too, and that church has always got somebody in it doing some sort of business. There's an apartment there. They keep a caretaker.
Exactly. We have to have watch.
Well, it's downtown. I had a business downtown. I know what you mean.
But anyway, the people that were still at the paper, the ground shook. Then all the lights went out.
Yes.
And then we couldn't get the paper out for a couple of days because not only did they shut the gas down, they shut the electricity down. Meanwhile, it was still snowing. And
you were doing all the old presses back then?
Yeah, the press was still downtown. We still had two newspapers.
I remember when it was
the
downtown.
Evening Press and the Morning Star.
And that was the best smell in the world.
And frankly, it took them, I think I remember, 4 or 5 days to get the paper back up and the power back up because they shut it down. They thought the whole town was going to blow up.
That's crazy.
But back then, it took us 2 weeks to dig out. If snow stopped after the 4th day, this snow only lasted.
Yeah, how long was you guys, everybody?
2 weeks.
2 full weeks?
2 weeks.
Somebody said 3 weeks today, and I thought that was a little long.
2 weeks, we got back up there, and then we worked around the clock to tell stories about.
I don't remember the particulars. Of course, I was 7 years old, and I was in Elwood, but I know this. The drifting was really bad, and I didn't know we had got that much snow, but we had to go out of our second floor windows. Because we were completely, the whole house was just
about 15 to 20
it was
of
completely
snow around the Midwest.
You could just do a little hop out the window upstairs in my bedroom and you'd be right there.
50-mile-an-hour winds and about 20-foot drifts.
I learned a lot, though. They taught us a lot about how to snow safety and stuff back then with that deep of snow.
Well, we didn't have an internet. We didn't have social media. We
didn't
even
it started
have
in the schools. They would start teaching stuff at churches. And then workplaces, and that's how they got information.
Well, if you want to see my historical posts, they're both on Delaware County Community Awareness. They're on my personal Facebook.
You can just do a search for Rick Yinser in the group, and his
still
stories
on
will
Facebook,
come right up.
And the book is still out there.
Yes, it is. It's on Amazon. I checked before we started today.
It's everywhere. It's been, Hollywood and Broadway want it, but I don't.
Snow's pretty much cleared up. The roads are pretty much passable.
Yeah, we were out
some side
the
roads
last 2 days
that people are still digging out of. It's difficult to plow those side roads. A lot of the plows don't fit down them. And the alleys, they don't fit down them because there's cars on both sides. So if you do live on those streets, you have to dig out your car, move it so that they can get down that road.
Exactly.
Or else you have to all get together as neighbors and for whatever and dig yourselves out. That's your options. There's really nothing else you can do. And I know it isn't fair. You pay the same amount of property taxes everybody else does for snow removal, but it is what it is. Do you want to get to work, or do you want to not get to work?
Or do you want to get your kids to school? I think school's going to start up tomorrow, but
yeah, probably. It didn't go today again.
no.
All right. So now we are going to move on to a little bit about the election. Now we don't have a whole
we have
lot.
an election? Oh, the midterm.
It is a midterm.
Yeah, wasn't the president out campaigning yesterday in Iowa?
I don't know.
I
don't
do,
follow him.
and I know the Republican candidate for governor in Iowa withdrew. They're running. They're running away now.
Really? That's
yes,
crazy.
they are. No, it's real. It's true.
So we have a judge race going on.
Oh, yeah. We still have about a week to go to file. And what we're going to focus on today are just some of the primary candidates that are contested.
What's this lady's name again? I can't remember.
I think it's behind her, Driscoll.
I can't read the whole word.
Marcel Driscoll.
Okay, I don't know anything about her.
Okay, let me tell you. It's the Circuit 5 where Tom Cannon Sr., who's been a judge forever, his dad, Tom Cannon, was an attorney too.
Yep.
He's retiring, so this race involves Marcella Driscoll, who's a deputy prosecutor, and she grew up near Cowan, and the city court judge, Amanda Dunnick, who has been on the bench for, Amanda and her good friend Judy Merritt. Amanda's been, she's a legacy.
I'm kind of proud of her for her doing what she's doing and taking a chance on this.
Her dad was Don Dunnick, an attorney, a county commissioner. She's a legacy. Her brother Jake is a lawyer.
Yeah, I know.
But
Jake
she's been the city court judge for at least a couple decades. Now she tried back in 2 years ago with Judy Calhoun, but that the Trump wave, the red wave, still wiped her out in the countywide.
And didn't we just have the mayor's debacle and everything that went on?
What was that?
So the Democrats 214 were kind of persona non grata.
Well, that was yesterday. There's no.
I'm saying it was around that same time when she ran.
Oh, she is still one of those old families, like the Craycrafts, the Chambers.
She's a damn good judge too.
And
let's just say it.
She is the only judge running in this race. Now, on the other side, a Republican, Ben Freeman, who's an attorney for local government. He's not really anybody. He's never sat on a bench, and neither is Driscoll. Driscoll was a prosecutor. And the problem with this race is, and the problem with our judicial system is that the prosecutor, the state attorney, Eric Hoffman, wants to have every judge be a prosecutor. You know why?
Because it leans him toward his way.
Maximum sentences on everybody.
It leans him toward his side.
Yeah, it leans him towards prosecution and not defense.
As a prosecutor, he should want everything to be done perfect.
I just want it fair. You've got a right to a defense. You've got a right.
You do. I mean, you're innocent until they prove you guilty.
Oh, I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
That's just my opinion, but that's how I feel
But
about
she's a legacy.
She is.
Driscoll is. Ben Freeman, he's nobody.
Right.
But he works for the Republicans, so there you go.
And then we have this gentleman here.
Oh, my God. Who is that?
No, it's Kantz, not God.
Oh, no.
Very far from
No,
God.
He thinks he is. You listen to him in a county council meeting.
Oh, my goodness. I was reading a story that Daisy wrote about the last council
Daisy.
It's a good story. I kind of like the young person.
She's a legacy too.
And she's something, but she had a way with this story. She was calling Amber Green, Amber Kantz, and I was dying. And it was just done so casually in the story that I was just dying laughing.
Hey, we're not going to get into personal.
No, I didn't. The story's out on the Post Democrat. It's a story you can read.
Forget.
Just like, yeah, it's public. I mean, I'm not saying that it is the story, but that was funny.
And of course, Daisy is a legacy too. Her great grandfather was a mayor,
and
George
this
Dale.
Running against him, right?
Ken Mace. Well, I wasn't done with Kantz. Kantz.
Okay, we'll go back to Swinger there.
Kantz isn't from around here. He grew up in Cleveland. He got education out west, and he's been here about 20 years. Now let's go to Ken Mace, who's been here.
I know him from my group. He's a pain in the butt sometimes.
He's pain in the butt because he's worked in probation for 30 years.
He only speaks up when it's going to benefit him. When it's it's something that it's going to make him look good.
Okay, let me talk to you about what he said the last time he was in a public meeting when he asked the commissioners to move Second Harvest because they're tearing down the mall and they can't do their food drop here in Muncie anymore. He said, let's do it at the fairgrounds. And Brand said, well, I don't know about that trash.
I don't know why they don't talk to her about doing it at the water bowl.
But the last meeting, and I didn't see it, but they did it. They did allow Second Harvest to use the fairgrounds starting next month. Now, Mace has got at least a couple generations of family here. Where this guy,
I've never heard of him before.
Well, that's because he's been in probation. Maybe you heard of his brother Ken, who was a cop. No, he worked for the county probation office.
Didn't Kent, you just say he worked for him too?
No, Kent works for some healthcare something. Okay, but he's not from around here. Mace. And you might remember his brother, Ken, who was a cop, and Ken and Deb.
That's where I've heard it.
Yeah, Ken and Deb were killed in a motorcycle accident. I mean,
that's right. I forgot about that.
But he probably will be the next commissioner because he's a local. I'm tired of these people pretending to be local when they're not from around here.
He's a bootlicker.
Now, remember, Kent has a primary candidate, and I don't have the picture, but I think some people know that name, Chambers.
Yes.
Donnie Chambers.
Yes.
He's part of that Chambers family.
So he's running against Kent
in the primary.
Okay, all right.
But Donnie is one of those party jumpers. He used to be a Democrat, now he's a Republican. But I'll bet you a pop Donnie Chambers will beat him in the primary.
Let's see who we got here.
Do we have to go back?
Yes. Come on, I knew you were going to say
that. Scott Alexander, who's
Senator. Scott Alexander.
I forgot he's a state guy.
Yes, he is.
One of Chris' highest
He's
friends.
thrown a fit lately, isn't he?
Yeah, he's thrown a fit.
About now?
Well, because more Republicans voted against redistricting when he did vote for redistricting. And he's one of those Trumpers who think that Trump is the future when
they're just trying to get it noticed by him and Victoria
Sparks. Oh yeah, she's yeah. But see, there's a big split in the Republican Party too because we didn't redistrict in the state.
I know.
And those old
Trump was not happy about that either.
Well, what can he do? He's too busy changing the world.
Is he now?
Or never mind.
Seems like more the same.
Well, let's go back to the State House.
All right,
Alexander is going to be who is that? That's another legacy.
Yeah, he's running for senator too.
Andrew Dale.
Not in the same district, right?
Yeah.
Are they running against each other?
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's a Democrat.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know.
And Andrew, who's the party chairman, who really has
the Democratic Party.
I know, but see, we've been on Andrew. We've only got a handful of people running for office, and we got a week for filing deadline. He better go out and get some people.
Yeah.
Well, because again, I don't have a problem with him, and neither does the state party.
I just can't believe he's going to stay as a chairman
running for office.
Yeah, because how can he be equal to all of them if he's running for offices and running a campaign?
I understand.
No one's ever done it. They usually step down.
Well,
there's no law that says he has to.
Let me think.
There isn't. I've checked, but no one does it. No one has done it all the way back 2 decades. I went back.
Okay.
And I looked it up. And very tedious.
Now, Phil Nichols was a councilman, and he might have been the chairman at the
after he got the elected.
Okay.
Yep, he did.
Well, that's the only one I can think of.
That's the only one that I was worried about too. But no one else has stayed and done it. Now, if he has he been doing a stellar job?
He's only been there a year.
Still, but in that year,
he hasn't filled the ticket
I've seen more posts coming from his campaign than I've seen him do for the Democrats.
Well, again, he needs to fill that ticket.
I agree.
And I'm talking about townships.
I hope he can do it.
Well,
I mean, there's a lot of choice we have.
We've got a good top of the ticket in Indiana with Bo By and that young kid. What's that young kid? Jackson Franklin.
Yes, I met him. He's a nice young man.
Well, he's a military guy.
He's out there too, getting himself seen everywhere too.
Yeah, he's a grassrooter.
Okay, so I think that's all we had on the election.
Yeah, and we'll remind people too that next Friday the The 6th is the last day to
Yes,
file.
it's the last day to file. There's some delegate positions open. We were looking it up last
Precinct
night.
commitment too.
Yeah, you can go and look that up on indianavoters.com.
Right.
They have it right there, the up-to-date filing status right there.
And I think the county building's open again, so you can go up there and
Right.
file.
And now we'll move to legislature. And I know you know this young lady.
Oh, yeah. Sue Arrington. Boy, did she said she was retiring. She's not going to run anymore. And boy, did she create a hornet's nest last week. She filed a bill that creates so-called gun-free zones. And those would be public places like parks or recreation areas or, arenas or whatever public place that you can't carry a gun. Well,
what's the point?
Here lies the problem. One, under the Constitution, we have a right to carry.
Yes, especially in public places.
And we're an open carry in Indiana, and we don't even need a permit anymore in Indiana. Well, you should have seen the hellfire that came from, I think it was called the Indiana Firearms Coalition.
Oh, yeah, they are not about that.
They, some old boy
I'm surprised the NRA wasn't showing up too.
Oh, yeah. Well, but this guy,
they're more federal.
He did a podcast, I think, last week after she had filed and called her a baby killer because she worked for Planned Parenthood. Said she was as dead as Dianne Feinstein.
Oh, my God.
Just crucified. I mean, and I said,
is that necessary? I mean,
no,
we all know
that is our political. That is our political climate today.
It is, and that's the thing. It's a lot like back in Locke's day when you were looking at the revolution.
Oh,
you could feel it in the air, is what they said.
Yeah.
And then I watched. I was telling you earlier. I watched old Ronald Reagan speeches, like when he was running for governor in the '60s, and he said it too. He said you could feel something was coming in the air when he talked about it in a later speech in the '80s.
He was an actor.
No, but in the '80s he talked about it, and I think it was '64. I want to say that he did that speech, and he said he felt it then, but he was young and he didn't know any better. But then in the '80s he gave a speech when he got president, and he remarked on that. He said, if I'd have known how much was going to happen from '64 until now, I would have paid more attention.
But see, even though he's older than me, he's probably more like my dad and mom's age back that grew up. They were born in the 20s and grew up in the 30s and 40s.
Interesting time period. My grandparents.
It was different because it was.
But there was a lot of political unrest. There was a lot of fighting in the party system. And he had just talked about in that speech. He talked about flipping from a Democrat to a Republican. He had just done it, but he wasn't embarrassed about it.
Exactly.
He clearly said he thought they were heading in too liberal of a way, and it didn't add up. The money they took from the federal government to get when they started food stamps,
right?
People were getting 600 or more a month, or 600 bucks.
Oh, when they created benefits in the 60s.
But it didn't add up. If you gave all the participants in the food stamp service the 600 bucks, it didn't total the amount they were taking, right? So there was a lot of uncounted money right off the bat.
Duh.
And so he was trying to stop those things before they became a habit. And then he talked about Social Security and how that was in the minute it was created, and it's been in the hole ever since.
I know.
And that's bankrupting us.
Hey, it's our money.
And we still owe a bunch of gold to other countries.
Again, I'm not an economist.
Back in '64, when he was talking about it, we had like 16 billion in gold, and we owed 27 billion. And that was in the 60s before any of this shit really got started.
Well, and I remember the old Bond movie, Goldfinger, where we sat on gold for forever. And then we let Switzerland.
And nobody even knows. Wasn't Trump supposed to go into Fort Knox and see if there's gold in it?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was supposed to. That's what he ran when his campaign was running the last time.
We might be surprised.
And he ain't. Yeah, well, he's obviously done it and decided against letting us know about that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But anyway, the other little thing about the legislature, I wanted to tell you, there's a bill that Danny Lopez, who's a House member in Noblesville, filed. And they call it the Beckwith bill because they want to change how a lieutenant governor is named, not by the political party at the convention, trying to control the power.
Right. Now, who's this young lady?
Oh, she's up and coming.
Oh, is she now?
Yes. Oh, this is Ashley Wright.
She's well placed for all of her associations, isn't she?
She's come up.
Where did the mayor find her?
Well, I think she was hanging around on the ballot 2 years ago.
And she also, where else did she work?
Besides, you can't see her brand on her.
Yeah.
She just took a job with an Indiana American Water Company.
After she got the job at the city?
No, she didn't work for the city. She was appointed.
Okay.
She was appointed to replace Jim Lutton when Jim Lutton made a big deal about Prairie Creek and whether they can come and go or when they're coming and going. And let me give you an update quickly. There's only 60 trailers out there,
yes,
so most people have left.
Yep.
But anyway, back to Ashley Wright.
So she got appointed and then got the job?
No, she had that job.
Okay, that's why they appointed her.
2 years ago, she ran as county commissioner on the Democrat ticket. She was
she's a Democrat.
And she worked at the Marriott, the downtown hotel, in marketing. And she has a husband, Donnie Wright, who is a supervisor at the street department.
Okay.
But I found out watching the county commissioners the other day that she also is on the tourism convention board.
She's
the board that deals with the hotel motel tax that has a couple $1 million every year, because look at all the hotels. You know why they come here?
Is there no conflict of interest there? Her serving on a board that she's working on the American Water, they own the reservoir, and then her also working for.
Maybe she should file a disclaimer, but
I wonder if she has.
Listen, the mayor has done this. The mayor has filled up these boards and commissions with city people. He's got the city attorney on the park board.
He's not watching that ethics.
He's got the party chairman on the sanitary board.
What the hell?
He's got, like I say, and he's got Shireen on the redevelopment commission.
Well, Shireen was on the STEMI money committee and gave herself and her business money. Her and Matt Wagley were both on it.
I understand, but
and then closed their business after that.
Boards and commissions have raised our utility rates.
I mean, I should say it like
they're squandering our money, and they are spending our money. And these are all public employees when they should be citizens. It used to be they just put citizens on these boards.
Well, the thing is, the mayor has controlled a lot of little things like that, and that's what the story is going to be about.
The boards and commissions.
It's going to be about control. That Janet Jackson song comes into my head. Control.
Yeah, because again, that's another problem we have with this administration. I've never seen half a century so many public employees or public officials on board. The mayor's even on the unsafe building committee.
He was the head of the MRC for how long?
And he was the economic development director.
Not even a voting member. And who's this?
Hey, this is my good friend Carl Malone.
Oh, hi, Carl.
He's a local guy.
Are we going to talk about the Gus Macker now?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Parks and Recreation.
All right.
Because even though he gets bad mouthed by others, I've known Carl forever. He has worked in Parks and Recreation. His wife, Vivian, worked out at the jail.
Got this.
What's this now?
This is the thing about Gus Macker. You can't really read it, and I can't see it from here.
But, Aaron's sister told me I didn't get it up.
Yeah, I'll post this. It'll be here in this, so people can always, stop the video and watch it.
Yeah, but the news is Macker's back after about a decade.
Yes.
They announced the other night, Steve and Aaron Craig and Courtney Marsh with the
South Side Association.
South Side Neighborhood Association worked hard. Now the mayor didn't, because the mayor is obsessed with Iron Man.
Yes, he doesn't give a shit about the South Side anyway.
But anyway,
clearly. That's going to be the July 6th or the July 18th and 19th.
Yeah, at Southside School.
Yes.
And again.
And then Carl has that other.
Carl's bringing back the old Soul Bowl with a lot of old Central stars.
And that'll be June 12th through the 14th.
That'll be in McCullough.
Yes.
But those people, you remember, well, maybe you don't.
I do.
Bonzi Wells.
I remember Bonzi. Actually, my
all the old
husband did some work out of his house.
Great.
Yeah, he did some work out of his house.
Carl wants to get people back in the parks. Prairie Creek is just one of 20-some parks.
No, is Carl Republican?
Carl is a kind of a changeling. He gets a lot of heat from his people.
He does.
About working for the mayor, but he's doing a good job as far as I'm concerned, because he's He's resurrecting some of these old things that people come to. We're
The
still
Gus Macker. I lived over on 22nd and Meeker for 20 years.
Yeah.
All right, with my ex-husband. It's a Herbert house. Anyway, that it's right, like, blocks from Old South Side.
Right.
Blocks from Matwell Park over there on 24th, 25th. And the Gus Macker brought that community together. We all, as a family, walked down to that and participated in that all day long.
For years.
Yes, I mean, we did that. My kids were young, and that was the only thing on the South Side that we had.
Exactly.
That was it. And then when it just disappeared, we're all like, why? Where? Why? And no one ever gave us a why. Why did that disappear?
They had national problems, and they kind of kicked back.
Oh, the organization
their national
itself.
Group. It didn't have anything to do with Muncie because they pulled completely out of the Midwest. Now they're slowly coming back. But do I have to tell people what's down at the Field House? 8 high school championships.
Yeah.
For a century, this has been a basketball capital.
Yes, it has.
Just like Indiana was a basketball capital. Like
we had Sky Sylvester, who was on a national team, or not a college team. He was on a college team.
We had a lot of people.
I mean, and then he was a coach for Central for years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. And then we had, that young man, Strong, Marvin Strong, that I wrote the story about, a Marvin moment. His son that we met has continued on in his dad's legacy.
He's got some fundraiser.
He's doing all kinds of stuff with basketball and the youth of this, because he's graduated down in college, but he's doing all kinds of great work. I want to give a shout out to him. That is one exceptional young man, just like his father.
Right.
And then so we got Carl doing his thing in the Parks Board. And what else we got here? Let's see. There's the Gus Macker, the logo. Makes me want to redo it badly.
I want to make sure that people know that the city put it in their park plan to get the Macker back, and they guaranteed money. So we're going to wait
out of edit?
Money. Well, I don't know.
It has to be.
The mayor gave edit money to everybody but that.
Yeah, but he's asking for more appropriations from the next city council. But last city council meeting, he appropriated $900,000 the first month after they submitted the budget.
Oh yeah, the economic development money for
and now there's nothing to stop him, from spending, because he's got a full council that supports him in the Republican council.
What the state said. He has to get appropriation for unencumbered money, and he has to put contracts in place to spend it.
Very good reading. We need to do another story. Very good reading to go and read the state board of accounts.
But I'm glad to see basketball is coming back.
Me too, because that's something that does bring this community together.
Exactly. Brings the state together. IU, Purdue.
It doesn't have a bar or something like that associated with it.
Exactly.
All right. So next, we're going to move on to
the economy.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, is it good, bad, or ugly?
It's always ugly.
Not that old Clint Eastwood movie, but I couldn't believe all the economic information I got in the last week or so. It started with the Indiana Economic Outlook that they have every year, Ball State, and Michael Hicks, who is the economist that looked at the economy for 30 years. That's him talking to some people.
Okay. Oh, this one is?
No, that was him. Here, this is what they really do. That's Mike Hicks.
Well, here's what.
And here's the summary he offered, if you can.
Yeah, I can. So we are in a period of extreme uncertainty across many domains that affect economic growth. I can't read. GDP growth has thus far remained resilient, most likely because of pre-tariff consumption and extremely narrow business investment. Then you got the labor market growth that is stalled. Supply side effects, immigration are part of the story, but this is also cyclical. I can't say that word. You know what it is. Increased prices will affect consumption and interest rates as well. And then is optimistic forecast for a mild stagflation in 2026. Most risk is now downside. So basically what he's saying there is we're at, which I already knew, after COVID, we were going to be looking at several dark years. For about 5 years in a row, it's going to get increasingly worse.
Right.
Because of the stimmy money. That wasn't free money, guys. That wasn't TV, go buy a new TV money. That wasn't get out of jail free money. That money was not free money. That was your federal tax dollars. Now get this. You pay more locally than you do federally. All right.
Yeah,
and
both
your
in
taxes.
income and property.
Yes. Now
And
the
sales.
state is lower than both of those, but your local and your federal
sales is lower.
Yeah, and so we also pay a very high food and beverage tax here. I think it's the 8th highest in the state as far as our food and beverage tax. And so you have a lot of income going to edit fund. You have a lot of property taxes going to the county.
You got a lot of income from public safety too.
You got income from public safety. You've got all kinds of that. But we got a mayor that's borrowing against income taxes. Like, where's this money coming from? I don't understand, because he's leaving us at the end of the year within $100,000 or $200,000. Well, actually, we were behind $200,000, $250,000 before they got the budget.
I got last month, the city had about $3 million in cash, and part of that $3 million was this $1 million in edit that he's asking the council to appropriate on Monday.
Yeah,
and most of that he's putting into charity. That money should be going to jobs.
And it's ridiculous thing when he listed that list of stuff at the city council. I can't think of all of it right now. Go watch the January city council meeting, and he made a whole list of the things he's given.
Well, I can. The mission.
Yes.
The YW.
The YW has been shit on for years compared to the YMCA.
I mean, those are all worthy, and they all need help, but they have their own funding sources.
But they're not as important as the nonprofits out there doing homelessness and feeding people.
And can I tell you, too, they have another source of funding. Foundations, Ball Brothers Foundation, community foundations giving out millions.
You know as well as I do know that that giving has curbed.
Some of it has.
Yeah, because some of it is federal, based on federal grants that are no longer in play. But the foundations are now hit by all of them. Now they're all applying because they've lost their federal income.
I understand that they can't get government money, but they still have vast trust.
But those foundations are overrun now with more nonprofits than they've ever had that are looking for those funds.
Again, those
you may have 100 nonprofits going for one grant from a foundation.
Those foundations, especially the Ball foundations, have millions of balls left behind for their grandkids to go.
I understand that, but where does that money end up usually?
It usually
with those who already have money.
With charity, yeah.
With those that already have money.
Well,
it's the people in charge of the charity.
They raise money.
They do.
The YW, they raise their own money.
I hesitate.
What?
Because that's part of the issue here.
What?
The Ball and Ball State and them being integral in our government around here.
Yeah, we live under their shadow.
We sure do.
Hospital,
and I mean, look at the amount of no university in the state. No university in the state gets away with paying no property tax on new buildings.
Oh, you're talking about the hospital.
I'm talking about Ball State.
Oh yeah, they don't pay property.
They don't pay anything, and they build millions in new. Look at all the buildings they put up in the last year.
That is the law of the land. That colleges.
No, that is the law between a contract that's over 100 years old between the city and Ball State that has never been revisited.
Other universities,
and they control our schools.
Are not
now. That's my alma mater, and my son went there as well. All right, but. Ball State's hokey.
Failed.
They're hokey. They don't allow public comment either.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, they don't. They.
And so didn't you go to a Ball State thing? Anyway, we'll finish this, but I'm just saying Ball State's part of the problem, in my opinion.
Oh no, see this economic. Those are high school kids.
I like to see this.
The manufacturers, Steve Smith, the Midwest Metal. And the old guy from Wabash that had a medical device company 100 years ago, his company made wagon wheels up in Wabash. And what they do every year is they bring kids that want to be economists or finance people. They bring them there to get a view of what the economy is. Now, the funny thing about this meeting was that Ball State has done this for years. And Hicks has been an economist for 30 years.
I love his writings.
Old Steve Lindell at WLBC.
Don't get me started.
Bag
of dicks.
No, he he said on the air and in print on one of the, I think it's the MUN or whatever stations they got over there, that he was a Magna supporter, that he didn't agree with Hicks, and he's a Fox News Network.
Oh, my God.
And he wasn't going to cover it. He used to cover it, and now he's not, because Hicks said
he stopped covering a lot of things when he stopped stealing them out of my group.
Well, he's pledged allegiance to what Trump says the economy is, and not what economists say.
I agree.
And let me add on the thing that I just saw on the county commissioners, Bill Walters, who is the Daleville town.
I have a picture of him somewhere.
Yeah. Well, we'll find it.
Yeah, it'll be here. It's in one of these that are left.
It's one of the last I gave you.
Yeah. So
he's the also the no. There
he is.
Yeah, there's Bill. Now Bill is not only the town of Daleville guy, he also runs something called the East Central Indiana Regional Planning District. Yeah, he's a Republican.
He has to be. He's in Daleville. He's got to be with King.
Well, yeah, he employs King, if that's what you.
Yes, I do mean that.
Anymore. I don't even think King works anymore.
He is still the sheriff of Delaware or of Daleville.
Marshall? I don't know.
Yeah,
but anyway, back to the original story, as Paul Harvey would say, or the rest.
Paul Harvey, showing your age.
Bill was at the commissioners giving an update on foreign investments, and a lot of people don't know that Bill and Brad Bookout and King James and O. Henry, when they went overseas a few years ago, they brought Canpack, a Polish metal beverage company manufacturer, here, and they made a $380 million investment out there on Cowan Road and Fusen. Now, Bill knows how to get things done. He gave an update the other day of some of these Italian firms that brought machine plants in, and I'm not sure what they make, but they've only got a few employees, but a few $1 million in investment around here, mostly in Daleville. There's 2 or 3 of them in Daleville. And of course, Sherry Riggin, who thought that, what did Sherry think? Oh, he's got such enthusiasm. But what Bill said, which Hicks indicated, was that we can't get people over here now because of the uncertainty, not only of the tariffs, because if you tax another country, they're not going to bring their manufacturing here.
Why would they?
And he said we can't even get their best and their brightest.
Yet we're getting an influx right now of what into this country? A lot of people coming into this country. You told me earlier that a bunch of people are coming to this country, professional people.
Yeah. He said we're getting their still we get their best, their brightest, their engineers, their doctors.
Yeah, that's what's coming in right now.
And he said they can't get visas because the government slowed down giving people passports.
Not slowed down. It's practically stopped.
Well, yeah.
I mean, and then you got ICE killing people all over that aren't even fucking immigrants.
Issue, but he pretty much confirmed what Hicks said the other day, that what the federal government's doing is slowing the economy down too, because we depend not only on the professionals.
Considerably, we depend on that.
What are they doing with immigrants? They're
well, we're not getting any foreign companies coming in now. I know it's like years ago we had county looking into Tokyo. They even made a trip out there.
Oh yeah,
there's been there was shit going on before COVID,
right?
And that's all just about stopped,
right?
I mean, it's stopped as far as universities getting a lot of out of country college students. That's gone down, which Ball State, depended on a lot of that. They're foreign people that go there. I mean, they had a meeting there at the Cup. My friend owns the Cup, Martin, and a lot of the Chinese people that would find themselves all going to Ball State would meet there to have some semblance of home, so that they could do their customs and whatnot. And I happened to be there quite a bit. My boyfriend was at the tattoo parlor there, so I was always there. And that all dried up after COVID. That's never...
Oh, we have effects from the plague, but I'm talking about today and yesterday when Trump took office, and the impact of taxing others,
That's
they're just going to tax us.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to let people in this country,
what's the point?
I don't know about you, but I've been here, but I'm not a native. I'm not.
None of us are natives,
right.
unless
We
you
came
are an
here
Indian.
from Europe.
And I don't mean Indian like you're eating curry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
I got
an
into
Indian.
it with some Indian girls the other day. They're around.
They are.
And
My daughter and my son are indigenous.
And like I say, they had a big meeting up there in Minnesota the other day saying, you take our people and take our, it's not your land, and we have our own government.
Well, let's move on to civil rights.
Oh, well, that kind of dovetails into
It
that.
kind of does, actually.
Yeah, civil rights. The big Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast. 400 people at Ball State.
Last Monday, right?
Cold. Yeah, it was a cold day. We had all
only
kinds
hate. Only love can combat hate.
Well, yeah, I think, what was it? Having the strength to love was the.
Love is a hard one.
Yeah.
I mean, that requires strength.
But,
so who's this gentleman?
Well, yeah, this is an issue that didn't come up, but I think a lot of people might know Andre Mitchell, who runs the Deliverance Church. His dad was Royce Mitchell. He was a church leader for years. Helped the oppressed over in the industry neighborhood. Actually, Andre right now is the chairman of the Muncie Human Rights Commission, and last year he
took over that gentleman Kip.
Yeah, we had a little problem last year, a couple of problems that wiped out civil rights. And I was surprised that this group of 400 people, the concerned clergy, Ball State, the government, everybody talking about, civil rights as it relates to people of color. They didn't say a damn word about the Human Rights Commission not being there.
Yeah, there's no, and didn't it get defunded? They're not paying the Human Rights.
Well, that was another thing. The first thing that happened was Yvonne, who had been the director for years, retired.
When did she actually retire? Because it's been unmanned.
Yeah, well, let me finish.
Okay.
First it was her. Then the chairman, Steve Knipp, who badmouthed Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
And everybody said, you got to get out. He was the chairman of the HRC. It's appointed by the mayor and the council. He left. Then our new president, Jeff Green, who hasn't said a whole lot lately on the council.
Yeah, he said plenty the first meeting.
He made council take the investigator's job out, defunded the.
And the reason they had an investigator, because I wanted to be on the Human Rights Commission, and I did go up for that. However, I didn't realize at the time that my business license had expired. It just happened within a month. But you had to own a business, and they wanted the technicalities of it. However, we tried to go to a human rights meeting, and they weren't doing it. Yvonne met us going in the door, remember? And she said that Roe had canceled it. And then
Roe Selby was the chairman.
Right.
See, that's another example of putting public officials on boards and commissions.
Yes, and so she was on that commission, and since she's been off the commission, there's been no director. That's pretty much what I gathered from hearing Roe's comments during this time at the city council meeting. And so I'm white. I'm white as they come. I'm from Madison County, and it's a whole different ball game than being from here. And I wanted to be on the Human Rights Commission so I could learn, right? Because I'm always trying to learn. That's why I sat on the ethics board.
That's why you're going to school.
Yeah, I'm back in that again. I wanted to learn, and I teach the public at large in my group. That's what I do. I teach them. I take what you guys say in the government in your long legal words, and I give it to people in plain talk so they can understand what we're doing here. And you haven't had a Human Rights Commission director for a year, and that's not been
even have an office. It's closed.
And that's been and that's not been a concern on this council of anyone.
It wasn't even concerned to 400 people. We're sitting there celebrating.
So we just got rid of diversity of all states. There's been no talk on that.
Another thing that they didn't really talk about. Well, here's what they did with that. Last year, they were one of the first colleges to get rid diversity, equity, inclusion, because Trump said it's no more.
Right.
Well, the problem is, what they did is just change the name. They kept all the people, but now they call it community initiatives.
Oh.
So see, colleges have a way. It's just like Trump wanted to shut down Harvard.
They will survive. Like,
yeah, they will. Yeah, they just changed the name.
I will survive.
But this is the biggest group and gathering, and I'll
and
show
it was
you.
Peaceful.
I can,
Well, you never know, but I'm glad to see on Martin Luther's Day.
But I'm telling you, it's not just about black anymore.
No, it
we
isn't.
had kid Palestinians that were there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And we had
where was that? There
let me talk. Yeah, we had a couple Palestinians.
Here's the thing that I don't get though.
What?
If you look at the census numbers, and I use census a lot in my stories.
Okay.
So I'm constantly going back to them. We are like under 20% of all of our other minorities. 20 make up less than 20% of our population.
Right.
So why are the minorities getting more focus than the,
we always
the
did,
average?
Back in the 60s.
Well, because we've always done something, is that a reason enough to keep doing it?
Well, which?
It's not working, obviously.
Which race do you want to pick?
I don't want to pick any of them. I want to say that first off, we're a bunch of white people here.
I understand.
A bunch of 80%, more than 80%. I think blacks make up like
10.
Yeah, 10 or 11, and then
Not
the Hispanic has like 8%, and the rest are all different. Right, so that is not a lot of things, but yet that gets precedent over what affects the white working poor.
And see, that wasn't just about race the other day; it was about religion. Because I found there is a Church of God in town that are actually Mormons.
Oh,
Mormons.
Is that?
And
this gentleman was.
Oh, now this everybody probably knows him. That's Keith O'Neill, who is a preacher. He's got the Destiny Church down there at the
I know
what
you're talking about.
And he claims to have the most diverse church that has everybody, regardless of race or religion.
So was he talking about diversity?
No, he was talking about love. He was talking about MLK's message.
Do you think MLK today would have taken an opportunity to have 400 people in front of him and he would have talked about love, or would he have talked about the hard lines of things?
Well, he talked about peaceful discourse and peaceful protest.
But see, isn't that
getting the rights, because people of color didn't have rights until the Civil Rights Act of 65.
I'm sorry, sir, but the black man got the right to vote before I did.
I understand.
Okay, so tell me more about rights.
But they didn't quite get everything.
Well, no, they didn't, and neither did we as women.
But Neil is also he grew up in a white culture when
I'm saying he had a platform of people he could have affected.
Yeah.
And Martin Luther King would have taken full advantage of the people he had listening.
Well, I think he probably had more to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, it seems like they had an opportunity here and they didn't do much with it.
But see, he is also a member of the Muncie School Board who is run
Ball State. So there you go.
By Ball State.
So
yeah,
it's all a bunch of bootlickers.
Yeah, they're all. No, I wouldn't call them bootlickers.
Well, I mean, they are. Yeah. He's a black man and a priest, and he's not going to talk about diversity when he says he has the most diverse church around. Instead, he talks about love.
He did.
Okay, well, I want to say, like, there's opportunities
in life. Doing more, but what bothered me is they didn't say anything about the Human Rights Commission.
Well, nobody has. That's been bothering me ever since I heard it.
I know.
I had no idea.
In the time that the Human Rights Commission was created in 1964, we've always had.
And not only that, but the reason he got rid of the investigator.
It was a year before they passed the National Civil Rights Law.
Well, the reason he got rid of the investigator is because the investigator would go find information, and then they had subpoena power.
Oh, I forgot.
They could. That is a very
don't they?
Big, but you don't get anywhere with subpoenas without an investigator.
Oh yeah, you gotta have the information.
You have to.
Yeah,
and they're not going. These people don't know how. I'm a retired bail agent.
I know.
There are people that still call me because I know how to get research that they don't. So I don't know. We're gonna end on one note, and this is something that I told you we were going to pay attention to every time. Every single time.
What's that?
What's that? Well, it's a little thing called this picture that you put up.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted people to know about the plight of those without a home in Muncie. This was me. I was walking down Walnut from, I think, the county building over to City Hall back a couple months ago. And this old boy was sleeping there. And I said, "Hey, you need something? You need some help?" He said, "No, I'm just taking a nap for a moment." We still have several hundred people in this community that have no home and no outside. Place to go. Now, we do have shelters like the Norm that Kenny runs down there.
The Norm actually isn't running. They're sending theirs to other people right
now.
Oh,
well, the Housing Authority just opened the old Price Hall up for a shelter. But
they're still insufficient for women without children.
But around over at the Recovery Cafe, we do education, health, and employment.
I would urge everybody to check the resources list and their Amazon wish list that these nonprofits have set up. And I know that you're the one you were just talking about. They work a lot with their Amazon list. I would urge every resident in town that has any kind of extra money, spend $100 and send some resources to some of these nonprofits.
Right.
Do it with their Amazon list. You can sit down while you're watching, Big Bang Theory in a half hour, and you can send them some stuff on their wish list. It doesn't have to be a bunch of expensive stuff. Or if you're more comfortable going and buying the items, go do that and drop them off. Keep helping these nonprofits because they are the only things between us and them that can help.
Exactly.
Because they've lost their funding for the federal government.
Yeah, but see,
and giving is down right now because everybody's broke.
Let's talk about what the government has. A couple of years ago, the Housing Urban Development gave City of Muncie $2 million to build homeless. We haven't seen a dime of that hardly spent.
Just like the rest of the opioid money.
The old Harrison School that a church had down there on Liberty, they were supposed to do something with that.
Isn't there a new gentleman on
the diocese, Indianapolis Diocese of Methodists gave the old Industry Church to the mission. They were going to make a shelter out. They haven't done anything with that.
Doing the hearts and hands,
and
a new guy.
Let me finish on the buildings. Muncie Schools still has an empty Sutton building, and and they've got Garfield. Those could be used for shelters. They've got the money and they've got the places.
Shelters
all
over
the local
the city.
Government isn't hardly doing anything.
What about the old YMCA?
Oh, I don't know.
What about all the buildings downtown that have electric going on, and all the churches that are sitting empty right now? There's a million places across this town that already have electric and heat set up, and they're paying it. It's on, that we can house a couple people a night. It was negative 29 last night, wind chill.
Cool, but I'm telling you too, as you well know, those people, some that live under the bridge or down by the river, some of them will never come in. They'll die there.
And you know why?
Why?
Because you can't trust the government. You can trust sitting under a tree, parked by the river in a tent. You could trust more than this administration.
Probably.
It's true.
Well, it's not just.
I'm going to tell you right now. You think that these people that are homeless that are along our rivers, all along here, you think that they're all addicted to drugs and alcohol and they're all criminals? They're not. They are people just like us because we're all a lot closer to having zero money than we are to buying a yacht.
Exactly.
Okay. So if you're not having the money to buy a yacht tomorrow, then you're with us because you're just a paycheck or two or a life circumstance away from being homeless. So I've been homeless many times in the last decade. Circumstance. It's not my fault. I lost an eye. I lost my home. I lost everything. That happens to people all over the place. I had friends that helped me through that time in my life. Some people aren't as fortunate. If you had just located here to get a new job, there's all kinds of circumstances. Now, my friend has lost his mother, his father, and then his brother just lost his son in the same family in the last 2 years. There's a lot of things going on like that in the world that affect your job, your car breaks down. You know,
Liz, I know that a lot of people get on hard times, but a lot of times they can pick themselves up and get right back in.
They need a hand up, not a handout.
Exactly.
They need guidance. And the fact is,
direction.
Nobody knows where to guide them right now because there's no money nowhere.
Oh, there's money. They're just not spending it.
I'm saying, they're all holding on to it because the donations are down. They've been down since COVID, the private donations, unless they're a foundation.
Like I'll tell you again, the city last month had $3 million in cash. That was unencumbered. The county had $6 million.
What was the name of your friend that died last winter?
Oh, Donnie?
George?
Or no, George. Yeah, George Harding.
George died in his tent, laying outside last winter.
Yeah.
It was purely because of exposure.
Exactly.
Okay. And that was preventable, 100% preventable. George affected a lot of people. They were talking about him months after he was gone. There was videos being done and documentaries on YouTube.
Yeah, George.
All right. He changed people. Now listen, these are the people that you guys just discard, right?
Hey, George was a friend of mine.
He was a good person. He affected a lot of lives.
Exactly.
And he was homeless. He was mentally ill. He had some problems, you know. A lot of our mentally ill are the ones who are out there homeless. And veterans too. They sacrifice. They're mentally ill because they went and sacrificed for you, and you don't even go vote.
Oh well, you got a chance because the May 5th primary is coming.
Okay.
So
well,
again,
get registered to vote. If you need help with that, get a hold of me. I will be happy to come to you with my little laptop, and we will get you registered to vote. If you've never voted, you need to vote in your local elections. The last city council race had 9 votes between them. 1 vote makes a difference here. It absolutely does. And if you want to know and have a say in what your kids, the schools, your roads, your politics locally, you have to vote because all of that affects it. And you're not just voting for the people who've given their lives for you or sacrificed for you. A lot of our homeless now. You're voting. So you're voting for the people that can't vote, like the children that we're going to give this godforsaken world to one day. The people who are sick and in the hospital who are normally active citizens, but they're just indisposed at the moment. Or the older people who are in these homes that can't vote anymore because they have mental illness.
Again,
you're voting for them.
It's like your philosopher and physician said, Locke. He thought of democracy before there was even democracy.
Yes.
Even before we had a revolution. So remember.
When tyranny grows intolerable, rebellion becomes justified.
Yeah, and if you're alive and free, participate.
You have to participate. And like we were told at city council meeting last month that those parameters are changing for us to participate in that meeting, that we were going to have to talk at the beginning of the meeting before they do any business.
I think
that we were going to have to talk for 2 minutes instead of 3. And then we were going to have to give our address, which is not state founded. And here's the thing. When I said at the beginning of the meeting, I might go to jail. It's because you have to be willing to do that. That is your duty as an American citizen. Just like John Locke lit the revolution, we need to light the fire of these children underneath us. If we feel like the children aren't active in our young people aren't active in our world, it's because we haven't made the space for them. We haven't taught them to care about that. It is our fault. So we need to rectify that immediately. And the only way you can do that is by starting today. And it starts with you voting and educating yourself and making sure that your kids see you go do that and your grandkids go see you do that. And you take them with you. My grandmother took me, and that's why I'm sitting here today. My aunt was editor of the Call Leader in Elwood. My grandmother was a Democratic woman. Her whole life, she drugged me to everything. I wouldn't be sitting here giving a shit if my grandmother hadn't taught me how to do it because my mom didn't care. So somebody has to care because somebody's watching that. Somebody's watching you.
Exactly. Right on. Oh, let me get it in the...
Keep up the good fight, and we will be back next week. Look for a big story about the city, the mayor, the party jumping. It's all connected. Shocker.
Oh, first Monday government. There'll
Yes.
be more.
And there's a city council meeting coming up Monday, 7 p.m. I don't think they have any special meetings.
Commissioners meet at 9. The county, you know, there are plenty of people live in the county.
Please come out to this meeting. It's going to be a very integral one, and all forms of people and groups that come to these meetings are calling for their people to show up. So you might want to get there early. Seats are going to be taken. Yeah. Oh, I've been seeing it.
You got 300 seats. You'll have plenty.
I don't know. That's what we thought in that Wirch's meeting, and we were spilled out. The one that had 3,000 people show up to it.
Oh yeah. So, that's another day.
All right. Thank you. I got one thing to say. Wait. I wanted to say one more thing about John Locke. I had it right here, ready to go. There it is. As the quill rests and the quiver empties, we remember Locke's lesson. Liberty is not given, it is claimed. Tyranny may rise, but rebellion waits in the hearts of the free. Thanks for being here. Keep your quill sharp, keep your quiver full, and your spirit unbroken. We'll see you later.
Exactly.